All right, this time at the Quick Speed Shop, I wasn't content with having a 157 Plymouth two-door hardtop. Oh no, now there's a 58 two-door post car here. What am I doing? Going bankrupt, that's what. You're gonna wanna stay tuned, see what the story is in this thing. Here we go. More money out the door today at the Quick Speed Shop. Well, here I am once again, Project Green Machine. It's another Plymouth video. Last time, if you saw Plymouth content, I dragged home a 57 two-door hardtop from Ohio. It's really rough, but it's kind of complete-ish. And now I'm going to get the first car actually I bought. It's a 58 Savoy two-door post car, and we're going to combine two into one. The Savoy I'm going to get right now has got a pretty solid quarters and trunk and stuff like that, and doors. So I think that's going to become the hardtop. You want me to put the ramps down, or is it okay? It's got to come this way. And it turn to the left just a little bit. Right down. It's got to come this way a little bit more, about that far. Right there. Down. It's like an instant car already. Just put it right back together. How about that? Yeah. That's I got my crowbar right here. Perfect. This one. There we go.
This frame is the one that I took off now. He's sure.
Yeah, what was
I'm
it?
pretty sure.
1149. I think that's the number.
Yeah, that was the engine number, yeah. Ready?
It's got to go your way. Ouch. Just a little. Oop. Look at that. Put it right back together, no problem.
Yeah. I didn't know you could fit a 10-bolt under one of these.
I didn't either. I had a B body 8 3/4, but the spring width is too wide.
Oh, they're off.
Or the pit, like an
you
inch.
gotta do like 68 to 70. They're off by like a quarter or 3/4 or something.
Yeah, this, I can't remember what the one I got came out of. It was like an inch and a half off. And then I had this Camaro 10 bolt. I'm like, let's measure that. I'm like, holy crap, it's like within a quarter inch.
Nice.
But it doesn't have, it's got the rubber isolators and they don't grip the springs real tight, but it's better than nothing.
We use the Ford 8.8s.
Okay.
You know, like there's the Jurassic Park Explorer, and then there's the Rounder Explorer.
Yeah.
One after that. I can't remember. I can never remember the years. It's like 98, 99, 2000.
Yeah.
And they're everywhere, so they're cheap.
This thing is mint.
I think it's funny it set back on there so well.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. That's why I wanted to put it on something, because I don't know how I'd get it off at my house if it was just sitting on a trailer. My tractor won't lift this.
That's why I bought that one. That one was specifically bought when she needed a tractor for the flowers.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need a tractor that big so I can do shit with it too.
Yeah, it makes it mine.
She asked me if I'd mow the lawn the other day, and I'm like, I gotta
Stopped to do a Plymouth check. We got it loaded up on here. We got extra 4-door roof on the roof. I just want to check my straps to make sure the roof is not going to blow off, because that would be a bummer. So anyways, I'll go over the car more when I get it home. I'm just checking it out, but it's a 58 Savoy Post from Montana, and the frame that it is on is the original frame from this car, like I thought. As you can see, the car was buried in mud up almost to the firewall. I guess John from Big M in California bought this car. So it came from Montana, went to California, then came to New York. But it was buried up here into the mud. I guess he had to dig it out, but it's super solid Montana car. Otherwise, it's very little rust in the rockers and stuff. Super solid. So they got the Montana Big Sky plate from 1967 on it. We'll walk around more when I get home. I just want to stop, but we got to load up the big forks, and I'm going to continue on back to the quick speed shop. All right, bam, I made it back. It's the next morning. I got back under the cover of darkness here last night. But here's the car I showed you a minute ago. But we're going to get in here and get it off the trailer. I'm going to put the doors back on it. Like I said a minute ago or yesterday, this car came out of Montana, and it was buried in silt, I guess, up past here. All the floors and everything. I guess the guy had to dig it right out of the ground. That's why the frame, if you can see in the holes in the frame, is completely full of mud. You see all the mud in there? And when I cut the front clip off it, I pulled a bunch of mud out. There's the front clip over there from when I cut it off last week. But you can see where the dirt was up and even in here. But other than that, it is really solid. Once you get above the dirt line, this thing being out of Montana is really, really solid for what it is. So this was actually the first car I bought. Then I bought the 57 two-door hardtop a week later, just on happenstance. And then I think I said in that video, or I'll say it in this video as well, this frame got sold to that guy in Ohio, and then I went out and bought that other car and bought the frame to this car back. So this car is back on its original frame, which is, you know, kind of crazy, but it's on its original frame. I had to pull the 8 3/4 out of it because it was seized up in a broken pinion. But I had this F-body 10-bolt out of like a 70s Camaro, and it turned out to be the right width for the spring pads, like within, I don't know, half an inch, and I was able to jam it out on leaf springs. But you can see there, if I see up there, see a space between the rear end and the thing. The Camaro axles had like a rubber isolator, so the rear end's kind of like floating on the leaf springs. But it's good enough to hold the back of the car up. And, you know, the back of the car is mint. Where the fuel tank goes, look at the trunk floor. Really nice, no rot. The deck lid, oh, here comes a plane, see it? Funny thing is, somebody must have been customizing this car a little bit. You know what? This deck lid doesn't go with this car. Just noticed it's white, not silver. So anyways, this deck lid probably came out of California, out of Big M as well. Somebody had leaded up the holes for the Plymouth. It's a 58 deck lid, and then they brazed in the thing, and it had a release cable, so a little bit of customization. But overall, this thing is pretty straight. It's got a little whammy right there. Very little rust. Probably clean the mud out of these rockers, but probably just pinholes there. But super solid. The inner structures are super solid. These cars are usually always gone back here. Super solid quarters, just little pinholes. Usually these cars are rotted up to, like, you know, here. And the dog legs and all that are really nice on this car. Got some original undercoating falling out of there. But overall, super solid post car. Original paint here on the door jambs. It's like a bronze metallic-ish color. I'm not sure what it's called. But the post, so the roof on top is off of like a 59 DeSoto parts car, but it's the same roof. The post cars use the 4-door roof line, which when I park this next to hardtop, we'll check it out more. But this eyebrow was thicker up here on the 4-door and 2-door post cars. And then you get the roll down window here. This is the same, so the roof is long. The Dutchman panel is narrow on this car. On the hardtop, you'll see the Dutchman panel is about 8 inches wide, so the rear window is different. I bought a hardtop rear window from the guy, Jeff, I bought this car from. For the hardtop, he had it laying out in his stash, but this is a 2-door and 4-door rear window here, but that's nice. The trim's nice. All the lower piece is missing, but we'll keep that glass intact. The doors, I think, are also straight, maybe a couple little scratches. I believe the bottoms are, we'll look at them, but I believe the bottoms are super solid in these doors. So this was a really solid Montana car that just sunk into the dirt and rotted out the floor. But it's mint back here, everything's nice. So what my plan is, you can see the roof has been damaged by forks, but it had, and I think it was caved in wherever it's sitting, and somebody pounded it out before. This is from picking it up with the forks, but the roof skin, that's why there's this separate roof skin, is to, if I wanted to fix that. Another jack coming in hot. We're under attack. So anyway, just to make this roll, I just took some tubing. This is a Jeep Cherokee 2-wheel drive axle, actually out of Comanche, but Cherokee Comanche, that I had in my Model A hot rod shop truck originally when it was like a rat rod. And I just went and welded it solid to the frame just so I could have something to put the car on to have it steer. I laid out the wheelbase the same as that so I can hang fenders on this if I want, just to have it out back. But let's get this thing unloaded and pushed around back by the hardtop and park them side by side and check them out. Okay, unloading process, 1958 Plymouth Savoy 2-door post. And it's just that easy. I like my tube front end here. It's kind of like a gasser. We could do a gasser. We got a post car. We could do a 58 2-door gasser. Nah, I don't think so. Man, look at the patina. The patina on this car is fan-freaking-tastic. Fantastic. The doors are mint. It looks like, I'm looking at the dirt line, it looks like this car was buried in silt up to like there. Look at the pedals were under dirt. Yeah, look at over there in the post how far the dirt was. This car was right down in the ground. I'm surprised that, you know, it's not rustier up in here. Huh. But she's down. She's down low. Oh, easy. The trunk is surprisingly super solid. Looks like somebody punched a hole in it there for some reason. But the drop downs are really good and everything. You got a little at the seam right there, but the rest of it is really good. Still got the paint underneath where the fuel tank goes, and all that's really, really tight. This isn't the original deck lid to this car, I don't believe. So it looks like it's gray. Yeah, it's white here. This might have been the one that was on the car, maybe came with the car. It's got some damage there. Like I said, somebody had shaved the trunk filler. Now the guy I got this from was going to cut the quarters off to fix his Fury. So he drilled all the spot welds out on this quarter. I got to put it back together. But you can see the factory lead seam here. So what I've surmised, I'm not an expert, what I surmised is the trunk in this part of the quarters were all the same in all the cars, and then the Dutchman is shorter on the 4 doors and the 2-door post car. Oh look, here's some lead. So your quarter seam is here. This is a 4-door quarter. 2-door, it's a 2-door post quarter, which has a longer piece, just like a 4-door. So there's a seam here and a seam here, and then down here. So this quarter would be for the 2-door post car only, and then the 2-door hardtop would be wider here by another few inches, and then the 4-door hardtop and 4-door post would be a different quarter as well. So there must have been like 4 or 5 different quarter panels for these cars. But essentially, I think all these rear sections were the same, and the deck lid was the same and all that. So we'll see when I put them back side by side. I measured this sail panel. It's like 19 inches wide, I believe. And I think the one in the hardtop is only like 15 inches wide. So they did it all behind here. But you can see 3 speaker holes. You could have had stereophonic speaker set with fibersonic sound in this thing, I guess. Three 6x9s in that panel. So, oh, door panels. It looks like it was a red and, what's this one look like? Red and gray or red and black? Probably red and black interior. Huh. How about that? The roof is super wrinkled, you can see under there, but we got a mint roof skin off of 59 DeSoto. And you also see when we go look at the hardtop, this huge eyebrow that is over the roof right here. See how it sticks out so far? And the eyebrow here on the 2 and 4 door post cars. The hardtop is smoother and also is different. The drip rail line is up above here on the post car because you got the post part here. On the hardtop, the drip line is down here and there's a piece of trim goes on it. Well, let me push this back and get it back around by the other car, and then we'll take a look at them side by side. And they're multiplying just like gremlins. I thought only gremlins multiplied, but apparently Plymouths do too. So I want to hang the doors on it before I get it pushed in here because I won't be able to do it with the cars side by side. But man, look at these rusty Plymouths. This is awesome. You can already see how solid that car is versus how rotten this car is. But not to fear. We're going to make one good one out of 2. I think my plan is definitely use this guy for the builder and take the front half of this frame, because the rear half is rotted out, splice it on the rear half of this frame, which goes to the car, because the front half of this is full of mud and probably compromised. Splice the frames together first, get that going, set the body back on it with the doors and everything, fix the floors and all the structural parts first in the body with the doors on, then take the Dutchman panel and the roof, let's go over here, and whatever I need off the hardtop door structure. Here's what I was talking about earlier. Here's the leaded seam, so this quarter is the same. The Dutchman panel here, or whatever you want to call it, is a lot wider here, and this is a lot shorter. There's a lot more material in the one in the other car. Still 3 speakers. So you can see how this is rotted here. I'll probably cut this free from the other car, or I'm sorry, leave this in on the other car, cut it from here, move this ahead to where it's got to be, and use this because the other car is nice here. Cut this panel out, splice the 2 together. You're gonna have to fix this on the roof, but you can see what I was talking about, the drip rails on the bottom, and sometimes there is molding that went on here in the nicer cars. I don't think this one had it, but need to repair these panels. This is shorter here. The quarters might be the same in this area with the roll down window action, probably. One thing I do want to look at is the hardtop area of the quarter here. You see that because of the hardtop. Let's go over here and look at the post. The post rolls ahead. Okay, that's probably the same. Oh yeah, right here. See where they spliced it in here? So I'll need to cut the top of the hardtop quarter out to roll it in, however that goes. But as you can see with the windows and this rear window, the quarter is open the whole way. So I am assuming that should be able to switch over to hardtop not too bad. And you can see on the Dutchman panel just how much wider it is. It's got these extra pockets, extra material in here. The other car doesn't have these back quarter things in it, so it's all from here back. But as you can see, this panel in here is really nice, not rotted. So I will leave this here, but I'll have to cut the roof off, cut this free however it lays out, slide this whole panel ahead, fill in the gap in the middle. But I think this is going to work out. All this trim will come out. I think this will be fine here. And the inner structure, Oh no, did this break? Oh no! I bet that was doing that the whole time and broke that window. Oh, actually, we're not using the post glass anyway, so that'll be fine. I'm not sure what is different here on the doors. Let's take a look there. Actually, it looks like they just take a little notch out. So I'm guessing I'll just be able to cut the inner structure of this door right out and weld it right into the post door and just do a little surgery around how it goes. I'm gonna guess that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, I have to trim this off here, just kind of rolled over and filled in, but I'm gonna guess that the inner structure, once you take that off, you just cut this here and rolled around, it'll be easy to cut that post part right off the top. This has got a little rod in here, oh yeah. But I've got, this one looks good here for pieces, and there's one in that car for pieces up here. I'm not sure if this is different. I know the windshields are different, but the difference might all be up at the top here. So I wonder if these posts are the same. I'm really gonna have to do some figuring and looking and seeing. Oh, this has got a lot of trim on it. And seeing how this goes around, man, this looks similar. It's nice that both cars are missing the glass, so I can, yeah, I'm gonna have to make up a template and lay it in here and template this out quite a ways. But anyway, we'll make it work one way or the other. I bet, you know what? I bet the difference is, I bet this glass is shorter height-wise. I bet that's what it is. If we had a tape measure, let's measure from that seam to like the corner, 18 inches. I can also see this is more rounded, that seam. 17 inches, look at that, it's chopped an inch. So I'm gonna bet that this is the same and they just took an inch out of it up here. Yes, they did, I can see it from here. So if we go from this seam up to the bend, roughly, we're starting to bend 14 and a half, 14 and a half, and then this is like 4. Here to the bend, 14 and a half, but then this is only 3. So, okay, that's good. So the post is the same up to here. So that'll work out good. What I can do, oh wow, this will work out really nice. What I can do, because it's rotted up here, I can cut it here, take this out. I might even use the other windshield piece and drop it down. Let's see, the gasket surface, this trim goes on like this, but the gasket surface is back up in here. So we might be able to use the front section and have a little eyebrow with a trim over the roof, or use that piece of roof, but that roof is rotted in the front, and this one isn't. And this one isn't. So I'm thinking I can cut it here, chop it in this post area, put this back on, even if it's got the eyebrow and this trim, but still use the hardtop windshield and have the hardtop proportions using what I got here. So that way I can use this post. I don't have to cut the posts out of the car, which is nice. I think they're both really savable. Don't have to cut the posts out of the car, just chop it right here, 2 inches out of it right here. That's perfect. I mean, essentially, if you wanted to hardtop one of these post cars, or make it match the roof line, you could chop this, use a hardtop windshield, drop your top, drop your posts down, and then use a Dutchman panel from a hardtop, take a section out of your roof, drag the roof ahead, and make a post, 2-door post with the hardtop roof line. And that'd be pretty cool, because the thing with these cars is the roof is so much more bulbous in the back because it's the 4-door roof line, compared to how sleek this is on this one, because they chopped it 2 inches or whatever in the front, or I'm sorry, 1 inch in the front, and then they pulled this ahead and sloped the roof back. So things are, it really makes a difference there. that's why the hardtops look so much sleeker, because the roof is an inch shorter in the front and it trails off. It makes these cars like 1,000 times better with a hardtop roof versus the big bubble two-door post or two-door four-door hardtop or sedan roof. Is so much bigger. So what I'm going to do is build this as a 58. It's got the registration number and everything. I have paperwork for the 58. So I'm going to build this 58 Savoy. We're going to turn the 58 Savoy post into a 58 Savoy hardtop using all the parts off this 57 Savoy hardtop and bits and pieces, and graft them all together and going to make an awesome 58 Plymouth two-door hardtop. But I think I'm going to stick with the 57 nose because I like the 57 nose. So it's going to be a mix and match: 58 taillights, 57 rear bumper, which I have, the 58 body, 58 trim-ish, 57. Oh, actually, I bet the 57 trim might even line up with that trim there. Anyways, it's going to be a mix match. I like the 57 nose. I like the 58 rear. I like the 58 dash. So that's what we're going to do. But I feel a lot better because I spent a lot of money on these cars. I don't know if you guys have followed along or have one or whatever, but essentially a car like this right here in Texas, there's one right now on one of the Facebook pages, needs floor work, not nearly as rusty as this, but doesn't run, has similar patina, probably a lot more solid in the quarters and stuff. The glass in it, but needs full restoration. One of these that car in Texas right now is $13,500. So I've got a lot of money tied up in this junk. That car was $3,000. That car was $3,500, which I bought first, and then I bought a hardtop rear window for $240, and I bought some trim for another $100. So I got essentially, what's that? I got about $7,000 right now just in these two rusted Hulks. So I'm going to build these I'm going to build this as a patina car. I love the Montana patina on this car. Just going to fix it up. I'll put new rockers in it, fix all the floors. And actually this floor, because of the dirt, the other car comes with a better floor. So all that tunnel's missing. Hold on a minute. Look at that. Bam. Mint repair piece ready to go in stock. So it's going to be really easy to fix the floor in this. I'll just have to make some panels for the outer edge. I'll put new bracing in it, but all the body mounts are good. Where it attaches to the frame here, the main mounts are all good. Oh wait, we could read the body number and get some more info. Right there. The other one on the other car is rotted out, but I got this car, I got a number matching frame, and actually there's a 58 poly 318 in this car if I wanted to have it all 1958. I have a 66 poly motor with a 727 that I might run in the car, or I might put my 5.3 aluminum LS in it and leave it patina, but make it an LS cruiser so I can get 25 miles a gallon with 300 horse. I might do that too, not sure yet. But anyways, we got a game plan now. I feel super relieved and super excited because I gambled, like I said, a lot of money on buying these and hoping they would go together, but it looks like they're going to. So I'm excited. I can't wait to have a hardtop 58 Plymouth wing car running down the road. You don't see these cars around here at all. They're all gone, and the ones that are restored are a fortune. They're like $35,000 to $70,000. So I'd never be able to afford even a Savoy restored. That car is probably $30,000. I'd never be able to afford to buy that. There was a nice 57 one for sale for $25,000. It was the gold, like the Miss Belvedere car. It was that color gold. Older paint. It was nice and solid down south, just like a driver, and it was $25,000. So I think I can put these two cars together with the 7 I got in them, and maybe sell some extra parts or whatever, and mix and match. I got to buy a new windshield. That's $500. I bet I can put that car together as a hardtop for $10,000 and have a car that I built on the channel for content, number one. And number two, have a car that I built that nobody else has, that I know it went into it for $10,000. I think that's a really attainable goal. And you can't, like I just said, that one in Texas, you can't even buy one of these cars that needs to be restored that's all there for less than $10,000. So I think in the long run, I had to spend a lot of money to get in, but I think I'm going to be able to make out in the long run. So Bam, that's it. I gotta go sit down. I'm having $100 bill sticker shock here. But there it is, the tale of 2 Plymouths. Stay tuned on the channel. It's going to be probably late fall to winter. This seems like a good wintertime project to start working on these things. So I really appreciate it. I'm going to put my lift up back here in the pole barn so I can use, I got a 2-post lift, I can get that up so I can take the bodies on and off. Going to need that. And then, yeah, we'll be doing Plymouth action. So until then, hang tight on the Plymouth stuff. We're going to do other stuff for the rest of the summer. Thanks for watching. This is going to be exciting. You're going to want to see it. Stay tuned. More action. Bam. Here at the Quick Speed Shop.